My mother has suffered from alcoholism, depression, anxiety. I thought that Lily would be a great sort of therapy dog for her. She did wonders for her. You know, she cut her drinking by, I would realistically say, at least 90%. If it wasn't for my mother at first giving Lily such a good home, then, you know, who knows if my mother would be here right now. You know, my mother sacrificed herself for Lily, and Lily ended up returning it and sacrificing herself for my mother. She had a relapse that night. You know, we had some pretty tough family news, and that she obviously didn't take so well. And there was the witness to it was the train conductor. The train conductor, as he was coming down the tracks, town of Shirley. So at a distance, it was a mass in the tracks. Wasn't sure what it was. As he got closer, he realized it was a woman and a dog. He said the dog was pushing and pulling the woman to get her off of the tracks. And he had radioed for the train to stop. And as it got closer, he realized it was too late. And he said, at the last second, he said that dog came around to the front of your mother and took the hit of the train for your mother. He said he could feel the hit of the train. So once the train finally stopped, he ran back and he realized that my mother had been pulled free from the tracks, but Lily had been struck. Her front arm had been run over, and that's all we knew at the time. While the conductor stood there, he said he kind of stood back, hung back, and he saw the lights, the sirens, the police, fire, EMS. He said anytime somebody new would come to speak with my mother about what happened, he said Lily would reposition herself to kind of stand guard over my mother. Still, only concern was my mother. Only concern was that my mom was okay. I mean, it was probably the scariest night of my life, just knowing something had happened. And I pulled up inside in the parking lot. I took a deep breath and I go, okay. I go over to his cruiser. I look in and I just see her eyes, the same eyes that I saw when I found her at the rescue shelter, just looking at me. I picked her up, I put her on the stretcher that they had. I started patting her head and talking to her, and I mean, it's the thing that just almost put me right on my back was, you know, her tail started wagging. She's just been so strong throughout this entire thing. After she just had this major surgery with her arm, you know, I walked in. Hi, you know what I'm talking about, you are? I walked in and, you know, she was sitting there. She heard me, she saw me, and with her one good arm, she pushed herself up, and she was like pulling herself out of the little kennel to try to like meet me. So I had to run in there because she had tubes, she had wires, she had everything hooked up to her. And I don't want her to pull something out while she's coming to see me. And you know, it just hurts like bring me home. You know, I want to go home. I want to be home with you. I don't want to be in here. You know what? This dog is just, I mean, this dog's special.